how did the Qing state rise to power? Some say it was sheer strength, but if you ask me, Qing's secret sauce was its army of relentless workers, its beasts of burden. The more beasts Qing had, the stronger it became. Rome had its legions, Qin had its workhorses. Rounded up, and Qing's workers were practically born in Rome. Now, Qing didn't start as a nation of tireless toilers, but its founding? Oh, it's tangled up with these beasts from the very beginning. Historical records point to Qing's ancestor, a guy named Ying, usually just called Boyi. He was a big deal during the days of Yu the Great, the legendary flood tamer. After Yu became king, he pulled a performative stunt, abdicating the throne to none other than Qing's ancestor, Ying Boyi. Talk about a winning surname. Ying has the same pronunciation as to win. Snagging the throne? That's winning on a massive scale, or you could say, winning on steroids. But as some wise soul once said, win too much, and you'll lose it all. Boyi got caught up in the thrill of victory, forgetting the cold, hard truth of power. It's backed by force. Sure, he got the throne, but Yu slyly kept the army for his son, Xiaqi. So, Xiaqi rolled in with the troops, took out Boyi, and founded the Xia dynasty. Following the downfall of the Xia dynasty at the hands of the Shang, the descendants of Boyi felt that their long-standing vendetta had finally been avenged. As a result, they pledged their unwavering loyalty to the Shang. But dynasties don't last forever. By the late Shang period, the Zhou state was rising fast. Zhou and Shang were neck and neck, too close to call. Enter Ying Feilian, a crafty Ying descendant. He sat his two sons down and said,
"Look, you don't put all your eggs in one basket or all your sons in one court. For our family to keep winning, we hedge our bets. Half of you stick with Shang, the other half back Zhou. No matter who wins, the Ying family must win. 50 wins in 50 days."
So, Feilian sent one son, Ying Alai, to roll with Shang, and the other, Ying Jisheng, to team up with Zhou's King Wu. Side note, Jisheng's name is pure poetry, literally seasonal victory. It's like he was destined to win every quarter. No surprise, his Zhou side came out on top. When Zhou won, they went wild, handing out land like it was candy. Jisheng scored big for his descendants, including a guy named Ying Zhaofu, who got a chunk of land called Zhao City. Back then, folks from Zhao City took the surname Zhao, so this branch of the Ying family became the Ying Zhao clan. But here's the twist, Zhao City was also hiding descendants of Ying Alai, the Shang loyalist. Alai took the L when Shang fell, but his kids were crafty. They blended in, posing as Jisheng's descendants to survive. Living under someone else's roof wasn't sustainable, so Alai's descendants packed up and headed southwest, settling in a place called Dog Hill. Now, Dog Hill is a tiny spot that sparked big academic debates, think archaeology, regional rivalries, the works. I planned to breeze through this in one video, but it took days of digging through sources. After all that, I'm confident Dog Hill is the East Mafeng site in modern-day Xi'an. Why Dog Hill? It's close to Feng and Hao, the twin cities traditionally seen as the Western Zhou capital, Haojing. Textbooks still call it that, but the academic big shots, like a 2023 paper from Peking University's Archaeology Institute, say Zhou's real capital was the Zhouyue site in Baoji. The Feng-Hao mix-up started way back in the Warring States period. So why did the Ying clan pick Dog Hill if it wasn't the capital? Simple, water. The area had reliable water sources, critical for survival. Leading the Dog Hill crew was Shen Ho, a guy with the surname Jiang. Shen Ho had a plan. He was investing in grandsons. While most families, including the Yings, bet on their sons, Shen Ho flipped the script. He invested in his daughters, marrying them off strategically to secure influence through their kids. The Ying family, always ready to sell their sons, jumped at the chance. Ying Daluo married Shen Ho's daughter, scored Dog Hill as a fief, and had a son poised to inherit it. Shen Ho's plan? Once Daluo kicked the bucket, his daughter's kid would take Dog Hill, folding it back into Shen Ho's control. Everything was going smoothly until the beasts of burden showed up. Ying Daluo had another son, Ying Feizi, from a different mother. Feizi had zero shot at inheriting Dog Hill, so he threw himself into a less glamorous career, veterinary medicine, specializing in cattle and horses. Don't scoff, veterinarians were rock stars in ancient China. Cattle and horses were the backbone of productivity. Farming? You needed oxen. Warfare? Horses for chariots. Logistics? Both pulled the carts. The more beasts of burden a state had, the stronger it was. Shang rose with chariots. Zhou's King Wu crushed Shang with chariots. Feizi wasn't just tending animals. He was nursing the lifeblood of the state. His knack for keeping livestock healthy and boosting their numbers was like giving Zhou an economic and military IV drip. Picture this, Feizi's herds munching grass, then trotting over to lick a block of rose-colored salt. Think of it as the ancient equivalent of an office snack bar. Keeps the beasts happy and productive. Feizi's cattle and horses were in top shape, but he was still the family underdog. That is, until fate threw him a curveball. In the northwest lived a tribe called the Dogrong. Why Dogrong? They revered the white wolf as their totem and embraced a grindset culture, think 80-hour workweeks. Zhou folks, who valued their chill, mocked this wolf culture as dog culture, and the name stuck. The Dogrong lived north of the Ying and North Luo rivers, coexisting peacefully with Zhou, until Zhou King Mu hit a cash crunch. Can't tax your own nobles or citizens, they'd mutiny. So, who's the easiest target? The wolf culture Dogrong, of course. King Mu tried a slick move, promoting the Dogrong from wild vassals, which is low status, low taxes, to guest vassals, that is higher status, way higher taxes. The Dogrong weren't fooled, they knew it was a money grab, and refused. So, King Mu sent Zhou's elite 6 armies, armed with top-tier chariots, to persuade them. The Dogrong got crushed, and fled to the barren Guiyuan region. But Guiyuan was dirt poor, so they kept raiding south. In 899 BCE, a total solar eclipse rocked the Zhou world, coinciding with King Yi's coronation. In Zhou belief, the sun symbolized the king. An eclipse? It's like the king got eaten. King Yi, spooked, decided Zhou's capital, Zhongzhou, was cursed. Against all advice, he moved the court to Dog Hill. Weird choice, Dog Hill was a stone's throw from the perfectly good Fenghao cities. Why build a new capital so close? Nobody knows what Yi was thinking. The move brought nobles to Dog Hill, including Ji Bifeng, King Yi's uncle. Ji was a classic warrior, loved riding, fighting, and getting pumped. That year, a brutal cold snap killed off tons of Zhou's war horses. Ji, desperate, asked around, who's the best horse guy here? Locals pointed to Ying Feizi. Ji was skeptical, but checked it out.
Feizi, you're the real deal. Forget the sticks, come to court and breed horses for Zhou. The more beasts of burden we have, the stronger we are.
Feizi joined Ji's team, and when Ji later became king, Feizi's horse breeding made him a Zhou MVP.
Winds come all day.
Feizi's rise freaked out Shenhou. His whole invest in daughters plan hinged on his grandson inheriting Dog Hill. Now Feizi was cozying up to the king. If Feizi got Dog Hill, Shenhou would lose everything: his daughter, his land, his leverage. Shenhou ran to Tibifeng.
You can't give Dog Hill to Feizi. It'll upset the balance.
Ji, seeing through Shenhou's panic, reassured him.
Chill, I know your game. Feizi is not your daughter, as kid, so you raise scared he'll get Dog Hill. Don't worry, I am sending Feizi to kin. Dog Hill is still your grandson s.
That's great.
Feizi, not his problem anymore. So Feizi and his clan were shipped off to Qin, located in modern-day Qingting, Gansu, a rough patch far from the fertile Guanzhong plain. Compared to Dog Hill, Qing was a backwater, perilously close to the hostile western barbarians. One wrong move, and they'd be toast. It was a raw deal. The elites always snag the best resources, leaving the outsiders with scraps. But scraps have their perks. When war hits, the rich lands get hammered first. Qin, too poor to bother with. Around 795 BCE, King Yu took the Zhou throne, and saw through Shenhou's schemes. He dumped Shenhou's daughter, made Lady Bao Si his queen, and even plotted to kill Shenhou's grandson to tie up loose ends. Ruthless. The grandson fled to Shenhou, who, thanks to years of marrying off daughters, had allies, including the dog barbarians. Shenhou called in the dogs to fight King You's army. Zhou's forces didn't see the dogs coming and got crushed. Shenhou and the dogs stormed Zhongzhou. But here's the catch: you don't invite wolves without paying a price. The Dogrong, bitter from their exile to Guiyuan, saw their chance. They didn't just leave after the battle, they stayed, looting and burning land, including Dog Hill. Shenhou's precious grandson? Wiped out. Qing, too poor to attract the dog's attention, dodged the chaos. With Zhou in shambles, Shenhou had no choice but to turn to the Qing clan he'd once sidelined. He asked them to escort his other grandson, King Ping, to safety in Luoyang. King Ping, staring at the ruins of Zhongzhou, gave up on the west. He told Qin,
Everything west of Mount Qi is yours.
That was Qing's green light to expand. The loser Ying kid, exiled to a backwater, laid the foundation for a future empire.
Veterinary school didn't save the mighty Zhou Empire.